total of 41,472 migrants crossed the channel in small boat in 2025. That figure is up by 5,000 more than the previous year in 2024. Despite all of this harsh immigration policies, harsh weather, and the risks of people losing their lives in the Mediterranean Sea, women, children, all sort of people who are losing their life, drowning, and all the very horrible incidences that we've been hearing about happening on the seas for people who are trying to cross over to Europe. Despite all of that, the numbers of those who are still trying to come to Europe or to other developed countries or to UK particularly through the small boat is actually increasing. Why are the policies not working? Why are policies like the one in, one out between UK and France, why are these policies not really stopping or preventing people from trying to reach these developed countries? We will look at some of the things, some of the reasons, and also see make some recommendation. What would be the best solution for people to stop risking their life trying to get to Europe through this kind of channels? We look at that in the end, but let's just look at the little figures around the number of people that are still crossing despite all of the risks involved. So the Home Office in UK, their figure shows a 13% rise in the 36,566 total in 2024. So in 2024, the people who attempted who crossed through the small boat into UK was 36,566 in 2024, and that has gone up to 41,472 people who have crossed this channel in 2025. And the numbers definitely going up. So the immigration policies like the one in, one out, and all these other harsh policies that are being brought in by the government of UK and other European countries to try and prevent people from coming into the country, they are obviously not working. So why are they not working is a question that is needed for us to ask. It was the highest number since 2022, but the funniest thing is that since 2023 or up to now is when we have seen the hardest kind of immigration policies. In fact, most of the topics across Europe is dominated by immigration changes and how Europe and UK and the rest of them are going to make it harder for people to try and come into Europe through these illegal means or illegal ways. But that is not stopping people. The numbers are increasing, highest. Going higher from 2022. They are really going up. The government says it has already removed 50,000. This is the UK government. I see now that they've removed 50,000 people who were in the UK illegally and is working more closely with the French government. That is, you remember the one in, one out kind of agreement that France and UK had. That's what they're saying, that they've removed all these people. But my question is, why are the people not? Why is this crossing still happening at this, higher rate? Why is that policy not working? And what can the government of UK and the rest of the developed countries and Europe do differently? What can they do differently? We'll look at that. They were 28 days without any crossing from 15th of November to 12th of December, which some observe attributed to strong wind in the channel. So obviously, the only thing that's actually preventing people from crossing over to the UK and other European countries is just the wind. If the wind is higher, they don't cross. But the policies that are changing, the government policies that we're hearing about, are not really preventing people from crossing through these illegal means. And it's very worrying as well. And it's not advisable. I would personally say that this is not advisable for people to be risking their life, risking the lives of children, trying to cross over in this dangerous route to try and get to Europe. Another thing here, figure from the Home Office then showed 733 people arrived on December 13 and more than 600 more in the following 4 days. A total of 803 people arrived in 13 boats on 24 1st December, a record for a single day in December. So in December last year, 803 people arrived in 13 boats into UK on the 21st of December. Just this December 2025, people arrived in just one day in 13 boats. The last arrival of 2025 were on the 22nd of December, when 17 people were brought off ashore at Dover. So the question that that's on my mind is, could it just be would it be a better solution if developed countries, Europe, UK, and all of that, will look at the cost of the problem rather than trying to solve it at the end when people are already in UK and so many other European countries? The people who are leaving their countries, say like Nigeria and so many other African countries, where people are experiencing some unlivable conditions, countries where there's war, countries where there are a lot of violent and so many human rights that have been violated there, people who are looking for safety, people who are going away, trying to survive, who don't care, who want to risk, they don't mind risking their lives to go to where they believe they will get safety because they're running away anyway from danger. So will it be better to work with the leaders, the African leaders, and so many of the developed countries, to work with the leaders to ensure that the people get good security in their country, to ensure that there's development in most of these African countries? Will it be a better solution to see that Europe and UK have better economic relationship or trade relationship with these African countries to make life easier for the people in these countries, in these underdeveloped countries? Will it be better to have a fair economic relationship where the resources of those people of these countries are not exploited? Will it be better to put good sanctions on some of the leaders from the African countries who will go and use the money meant to develop their countries to use it for themselves and their children in maybe countries like UK, again, for example, where they go and buy properties, where they bring themselves and their children for healthcare and all those things? Because I think this is where the problem is really from. If you can treat the problem from the root cause, then you will basically solve the problem for real. I remember the former Vice Chancellor of Germany, Angela Merkel, I don't remember her name, but this lovely woman who actually was saying exactly what I'm saying now, that the problem, the real solution to this is to create jobs in these countries that are not developed, is to allow for good trade relationship and to reduce the hunger crisis, and as well as stop the kind of relationship, the corrupt practices that happens in these underdeveloped countries, that enables insecurity, that allows underdevelopment, that even help the countries, even though they have corrupt leaders, these developed countries still have relationships with them where they enable their behavior. And if these problems are not solved, people will continue to risk, people will continue to run to safety, and people want to survive, people want to have a good life. So I feel that even though it is important to condemn the fact that people are risking their lives and the life of children trying to cross this channel, I would definitely say that this is so wrong and people should not be doing this. But the solution to this problem, considering the fact that many of these policies that are being put forward by these developed countries are not really preventing people from taking these risks and going into UK and other European countries through this boat, the best solution to this, in my own opinion, is that these European countries and European leaders will work closely with African leaders and other underdeveloped countries, their leaders, to stop the wars, stop the violence, help them make sure that their leaders are actually giving the right development to their own people and making the people have a livable life there, so that they don't see the need to start trying to take this route coming to Europe. So what do you think is the solution to that problem? Thank you for listening. Have a good day and share this video, like it, and come back here for more.